Today's podcast is super fun because we are going over all Valentine's Day love yourself items.
That's right. And for those of you who you either love Valentine's Day or you don't, but I just want to give you just a real quick insight. Both Lindsay and I love Valentine's Day, not because of a boy, not because of a husband, nothing like that. It's because our dad made a big deal of it every year.
And mom.
Yeah. And so they would, every morning on Valentine's Day, we would go to the kitchen table and they would have a basket filled with chocolates and flowers and just like fun stuff, just like socks or something. So it was never meant to be about, do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or that kind of love? It was truly about just being loved by your family member. And I'm trying to instill that in my children. Also, my husband truly stinks at Valentine's Day, and that's my favorite holiday. And so it's kind of funny how the universe works with how I ended up with the most non-romantic person I've ever dated.
I make our Valentine's Day reservations. On the plus side, I get to go to the restaurant that I want to go to. And I also buy my own flowers.
Yes. I mean, so so it's just so funny how we ended up with the complete opposite. And it doesn't matter. I've given my husband grief about it for years. And finally, it just gets to that point where you just have to accept that person. And that's just not their special talent.
Yeah, they have strengths in other areas. You know what I mean?
Yes, they have strengths in other areas. That is not it. So I, too, take over Valentine's Day in my family.
Well, you can teach your son to, love Valentine's Day like that.
That's true.
Share. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I will say that I'm always with Penelope and Reeves on Valentine's Day in some way. I started that really early. They always get fun treats and I give them surprises. And I have like a heart sweater on and like, I just love it. Like they're my Valentines.
Yeah.
They're my Oh my gosh. I get so excited to share that day with them. And soon I'll have a little baby Ellison to share today. Well, soon, Valentine's Day too. But we have special gifts on this episode you can give to your loved one or yourself. I feel like our last gift guide, I'm like, buying that one for me.
Our last gift guide was all about kind of ourselves. Okay. We were all the things that we wanted to get.
I did buy items for other people, but what it was, I found myself buying two, one for them, one for me, one for them. But I bought my mother-in-law the acupressure mat for Christmas off the gift guide and she loves it.
I brought my mother-in-law the acupressure gift. And then I also bought mom and dad the acupressure gift. And guess what?
What?
This morning in hot yoga, as I was coming out of the studio, they also have an acupressure mat. How cool is that?
You mean for sale or just to use?
No, just for people to use. It was on the floor. They have like a little area. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've got that for mom and stuff. So that was just kind of cool to see that a professional studio uses that as well.
It's great. I love it. And you can even just lay on it and have a self-care moment or put it in your chair and watch TV with it.
So for those of you that are new, my name is Ashley and the other person.
I'm Lindsay. Other person. Yeah.
Hosting this podcast is my sister Lindsay, and she's an esthetician with over a decade of experience as well as owning her own spa. So I've worked with her in her spa. I've been doing skincare since I was in my 20s. So, we know a thing or two about skincare. So I want to begin with Lindsay's special Valentine's Day finds.
Not all these are skincare though. I wanted to also have like love yourself gifts. So this isn't just a skincare episode. It's a fun Valentine's Day. I think it's more like a self-care episode because actually I've seen your items too on your list and they're not, self-care.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't even think I have one skincare product on my.
And I will happily admit that I did go down the TikTok rabbit hole for a lot of these items. They get me so good. So the first one is, like I mentioned before, did I mention this? I buy myself flowers for Valentine's Day.
No, I've never heard of this before. Actually looks like a typo.
I know. Did I mention that I buy myself flowers for Valentine's Day? Did I say that?
No, you said that you make Jeff buy them for Valentine's Day and you leave him a bunch of notes.
No. I go and buy myself Valentine's Day flowers. There is a store here called Fresh Market, and it is so cute on Valentine's Day. It just looks like you want to get everything there. So I always go there and I'll get chocolate covered strawberries. And I always wear my Valentine's Day heart sweater. Like I get dressed for this occasion.
Oh.
And maybe I should take the kids there. That would be so fun.
Oh my gosh, take me too, Aunt Lindsay, take me. That is such a good idea. I didn't think about going to the Fresh Market for flowers. Do they have already pre-made flower arrangements?
Yes, and I don't go for the roses. Okay, those are pretty pricey. I just get a nice bouquet. So I'm still going to do that. But so I always have a hard time putting the bouquet together in the vase. So I jumped on this when it came into my TikTok feed. It's called the Hanataba Bouquet Twister Holder. I'm going to spell that for you, okay? Hanataba Bouquet Twister. What you do, you get yourself some flowers, and this holder is so cool. It's only $31. You basically can make your bouquets now. You put the stems right inside of the holder, and they come in different colors, and then you just twist it, and it makes your arrangement. I saw this. I was like, that is such a cool gadget. You can use fresh flowers, dried flowers. I'm getting this, and this is my Valentine's Day treat for myself. And then I'm going to get a bouquet. But they have a pic on their website, and you can find them on TikTok or wherever. And you just twist the stems and you set it even in water. Like you don't even have to show the whole vase. They had like just this bowl of water so you can see the stems twisted. It looks like really cool, like super modern. By the way, just so you're not like hunting all over the internet, trying to find all the stuff that we're talking about today, we got you covered. We have it in our Shop My Shelf. So used to saying Shop My Shelf. Shop My store online. Go to lindsayholder.com. That's LINDSEYHOLDER.com. Select Shop My Faves. And we are now doing our favorites by podcast episode. So it's just so easy to find. So head there, and everything that I'm talking about today is listed there. And if you could purchase through those links, because we do make money off of that, it's not a lot, okay, but it helps. It adds up. So, I mean, we literally can make like $2, $3 on some things, some items, but we get so excited when we see that. We're like, oh, $2.50. That's awesome. It really makes us smile.
And it's also because I write the show notes or the podcast little summary. So I already put that link in our show notes. And just real quick, if we're about to begin, but at the end of the show.
We already began, Ashley.
Oh, yeah. We did already begin. Anyways, but, after listening, and if you enjoy the show, if you could please consider rating us, that really helps get us in the rankings, which helps support our podcast. So it's just Lindsay and I. Two tiny little people over here. So it just helps financially support our show.
I am actually not so tiny right now. I am in my 7th month of pregnancy. So I'm like a little penguin waddling around.
Oh,
but it's cute.
A cute little penguin. Speaking of cold and penguin, this goes into our next one.
Have you seen the Cryo Mask by Charlotte Tilbury, Ashley?
I am so excited to hear about this.
Okay. So you haven't seen that?
No.
I love it. You basically put the mask in just the freezer, and then it's a full mask, and then you put it on your face for like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's reusable until it's not reusable. I can't remember how many times you can use it. I think 10 or 15. I think. Look that up, but it's really cool. So it doesn't have a gel or anything like that on it. So it's not a traditional sheet mask. It's literally a mask that you put on like a cryo mask. It's really cool. I think that would be so good for depuffing your face in the morning, and it helps your makeup go on smoother, get your skin tight and nice. So definitely a nice way to start your Valentine's Day is to have a little cryo mask. You could do that.
And I love that too, especially if you wake up with puffy eyes in the morning. I recently was reading about the causes of puffy eyes, and it all has to do with water. And that's why sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I'll just look fantastic. And other days, maybe you had, a bunch of, salty food, like, whatever it is, soy sauce, sushi, whatever it is. And then you wake up with puffy eyes. So a cryo mask, I'm just thinking about that would be a great way for those days where you're like, ooh, I need a little help.
And easy. Just, let me just get my cryo mask while I, make my breakfast or whatever. We got sent some items, and we don't talk about them unless we really like them. So we got sent Patchology. They have their warm-up best foot forward softening foot and heel mask, and their Patchology Perfect 10 self-warming hand and cuticle mask foils. Now, this is funny. If you go on my Instagram, Lindsay or Holder, I have a reel showing myself with this heel mask on and warming hand and cuticle mask. It was so cute. Jeff had to complete because it's easy to put the feet on, but it gets tricky and you can put your own hands on, but it's tricky taking them off. You need to do, if I could do it again and you need to do it by yourself, do one at a time. And I, went for the whole shebang. So I was like, can you come in here and take this stuff off? But my feet and hands felt so good after using this, and it's really easy. It's not like messy because you throw it away, and it really works. I had baby soft feet and hands afterwards, and it's a nice gift to give somebody for Valentine's Day.
That's so wonderful.
So nice. So try that. They look like little foils. He said, you look like you're going to like your astronaut look. And I was like, that's right.
But it also, one of the reasons why I really love it, because of the foils, it makes it extra special. So you really feel just so special when you're doing something like that. That's easy, but it looks like you're in a spa, but yet you're doing it at home.
Yeah, I was watching a movie and just enjoying myself, and I had a mask on at the same time. I probably had my LED light on my chest too. Like, I do it all at once for that. These two items so when I think of self-care, I also think of walking and comfort and keeping just your body moving. I currently cannot bend over and tie my shoelaces. So this brand popped up on my Instagram, and I'm obsessed. These are Kizik shoes. I'm going to spell that Kizik. You step in these shoes. You don't have to tie them. They are the most comfortable shoes. And for me to be talking about shoes on this podcast is a big, big deal. That's how much I love them. And I bought Jeff a pair, and Jeff does not like to receive clothes or shoes. And I don't care. Guess what? He wore them today. We went to our doctor's appointment. I was like, oh, you got your Kiziks on, do ya?
What color did you get him?
I got him the gray color. It's a light gray. And I got myself a color called Fawn, and it's in between a nude and a blush. So it's like the perfect, it looks like really cute with everything. And you truly do just slip your foot in them. I don't have to tie my shoes, and everything hurts my feet right now, but these shoes do not. So it's like walking on a cloud. With that said, I did buy their socks to go with them, and they have excellent socks, but another brand is called Invisa Socks. And you know how you think, oh, those socks that don't show the line, they're not going to stay on your feet. Because I've had so many different pair.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research before I bought me a pair. These truly work. I have a special place for them so I can easily find them because they're small, but it's the socks.
Tell me where that special place is, Lindsay.
No, because they're expensive and they last 1 year because of all the washes and stuff. Because they have the grippy things on the heels and the toes. So just know this pair of socks is going to last 1 year. But it's Invisa Socks, and that's INVISASOX. Those two items you got to get them. They're just so amazing.
Oh my goodness. Lindsay, you're pulling a mom thing. You are spelling everything. Stop it. I can't take it. You don't need to spell it. It's already in the shot. It's already in our links, and it's already in our store.
Okay. Can I just tell you why? Because sometimes I know people want to Google it.
Wait, Lindsay, tell me why. WHY ?
Okay. I will tell you why. Some people like to Google it, and I talk Southern and fast, and they're like, what'd she say? And so that's why. Honestly, would you know how to spell Kizik and Hanataba?
No, but I would literally just go to the show notes and click on the link and look at it that way. I would not be, if I'm listening to this, which is probably going to be either on a walk or on the way to exercise or picking up the kids from something, I'm not going to Google it while I drive. You see what I'm saying? I'll look at it when I get home. I'll click on the link.
I guess we're different. I will literally pull over into a parking lot and be like, what did they say? And look it up real quick.
and I'll just click on the link, and then I can see everything. Oh my word.
So I'm moving on because this is supposed to be a podcast about love. All right. So yeah. Okay. This one I have not tried yet, but it does pique my interest. It is the Copper Posture Support Vest by Gwyneth Paltrow, and she partnered with CopperFit. And they describe this as ergonomically correct support that reminds you to adjust your neck, shoulder, and back position for proper alignment. I like that because I'm at my desk a lot. This posture support is supposed to help alleviate poor posture and slouching related pains that increase the likelihood of neck, back, and shoulder pain. It's unisex. I kind of was thinking to get the one that zaps you, and I'm like, this sounds better. It's not going to zap me. It just automatically positions my body in the right way.
Wait, shut up. There's one out there that zaps you if you slouch.
Yeah, there's one that kind of like, and I thought I would be zapped all day.
That is so funny. I did not know that.
Yeah. So this sounds more up my alley. It's supposed to be lightweight, flexible, and it has copper infused in it to reduce odors. It's moisture wicking, comfortable padded design. So that is on my list. This one, listen, we're not talking about lip gloss, people. We are talking about
fannies.
Get yourself a bidet. You know what I'm saying? For Valentine's.
Fannies.
Yeah. We're going down the bum rabbit hole. So
for some reason, though, I understand because I was also on TikTok and I got lost on it. And I was literally like, let me just go in there to see what's trending. And I was there for an hour and I'm right there with you. It seemed like every other thing was about a bidet.
Oh, you had that too?
Yeah, I had that too. And it was all these doctors, all these specialized doctors, OBGYNs, gynecologists talking all about your fanny and all these issues in the bidet.
I know why you got that. I know why you had that because I sent you a story on why the doctor said that. And once you watch that, you probably got more stuff talking about that.
Oh, is that why? Because I was like, my word.
So what Ashley's talking about is, and I did not know this until I researched for this show. So I am excited to tell everybody this. I have been using just like water wipes, whatever. And they were saying, the doctors, like the bum doctors, they were saying to not use wet wipes, to not use that. And I was like, what? But I do have a bidet. I've had it for 2 years now. I think I mentioned it on the show a couple years ago. And they now have one. I use the one by Tushy, T-U-S-H-Y. And that one,
really, Lindsay? Really?
Yeah, I just had to throw that. It was fast. I had to throw that in there. It has both the cold and warm water features. And I thought, man, I have just the cold. So it's a chilly morning sometimes back there. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, it's not good to use like wet wipes or whatever as they interfere with your bum's microbiome. I had no idea. Apparently, your skin down there is covered in good and bad bacteria, which keeps your tush in good condition. So if it's not in balance, what that leaves room for are rashes, irritation, and fungal and bacterial infections. No, thank you. So the moisture, like after you use them, it just kind of sits there. So that is what it can lead to irritation. And then
that makes sense because you're not airing that area out. So you're just doing the wet wipe and then sealing it up with your underwear and your pants. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So it can build up and it can feel like you have fissures or hemorrhoids.
Oh.
But it really can just be a buildup of irritation and bad bacteria. And when I read that, I was like, you know what? That has happened to me. So this really hit home. Now, wet wipes are still good for babies because that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, dang, I'm about to buy a whole batch of wet wipes for Ellison. I'm doing water wipes, but it's okay for babies because they don't have a developed, space down there like we do. I don't want to use that word. I don't like it.
Right. I understand.
Yeah. But we have the folds and creases and all this stuff down there, but they do not. So it's okay for babies to use, but not us. So what they do recommend instead is to get a bidet. It's cleaner. It doesn't interfere with the bacterial microbiome. I thought that was kind of cool. So we're talking about how to get a fresh booty for Valentine's Day. The next one, this is like a TikTok show. The next one that was also TikTok, but I have seen it on Instagram. Have you seen this, Ashley? The Mad Love brow stamps?
You don't know I have this. I bought this. Lindsay's talking about the Mad
Love.
I can't see. Is it Mad Love? the Mad Love brow stamps. I used this last summer because I was on.
You have them?
Yep, I have them. So if you ever want to.
Oh, hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, come over and try them. I actually have them because Lindsay is blessed with thick brows. I love her brows so much. I used to have thick brows, but as I've aged, my brows are pencil thin. And so I'm not an artist. And one thing that is really hard about, whenever you arch your brows with brow liner is making them even, making them straight. And I'm not a makeup artist. So when you watch a makeup artist do it on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok,
you're like, please.
They do it so fast and they make it look so easy. And so, of course, you're copying them and then you come out looking like a Muppet, or at least I did. I was like, oh, a Muppet, or hello, Bert, or Ernie, should I say. And it was really frustrating. So then I saw somebody use these brow stamps. So they have, I think it comes with about 5 or 6 stencils, and you want to use the one that's good for your face. So my eye area. So some of you will have big eyes. Some of you will have small eyes. Some of you are medium. So I used the smaller stencil. I also didn't want to have like this huge, enormous brow because that would look weird on my face.
Oh my gosh, Ashley, you should just before the kids come home, get the the thickest one and see if they notice, or your husband.
I already did this with the kids when I was doing my own brows. So every day I'd be like, how did mommy do? And they would laugh and they'd be like, this, mommy, you need some work. So it went on for like 2 to 3 months because I was really into, I'm going to get the perfect brow. And so then finally I got the brow stamp and it worked. I was really surprised. I will say this, with the stamp that came with it, sometimes it worked for me, sometimes it didn't. But if it just came out when it was like super light, it was okay because I could then fill it in with the shade that I wanted, because you really need that outline. So that was a TikTok that was actually worth the money. I was impressed.
They use fiber technology with the Mad Love, and it's water and sweat resistant, and it comes in 8 shades. Obviously pick the shade that matches your brow, in 6 stencils. So, well,
I do want to add this one note. I forgot to say this. If you are looking at the Mad Love, on their website or on TikTok or something, you're going to see 20-year-olds using it. Okay. And that's great. That's great. However, as an older woman, this is what you're going to need to do, because maybe your brows are kind of like sagging, or like a little, it's not just, tight and taut and lifted.
Yeah.
So I did remember this. I had to lift my brow area and make it really taut, and then put the stencil on, and then it looked good. Because if I had just used it the way it normally is, it wouldn't have looked well. So that's my big tip to you.
That's a great tip. Well, I'm going to borrow that and see how I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also have a face highlighter that I want to try, so I think I'll get that one too. I need a new one. Mine's running out. This one just seemed to highlight the perfect areas. For some more self-care, I found this during Christmas, and it was a Theragun dupe. So I personally have been using this for a little bit since Christmas. So it's cool that I get to tell you this works. It's by Homedics, and it's $30 because the Theragun, that one's pretty expensive. I love mine. Jeff's loves this too. I use it on my calf muscles, especially I have horrible restless leg syndrome, especially right now with the baby. So my legs, they literally start kicking in. And so I use the Theragun on my calves. I put it on the bottom of my feet. I keep my socks on. It's a percussion massage gun. It's cordless. I can recharge it. This is going to make it even to my Christmas list, I think, for next year as a gift. Yes, Ashley has her hand up. Yes, Ashley.
Let me tell you why I'm not excited about this Theragun dupe. Do you know why? Because I heard about it. This was the main topic of our Christmas conversation. All of us were sitting around on my couch the day after Christmas at the pizza party, and Lindsay spent 30 minutes talking about this Theragun dupe. She even lifted her legs, did the worry motion. So I'm like, oh my word, I'm hearing the story again. So it's saying, is the product great? Obviously, yes, but it's just funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're telling this story yet again. This is so funny. I love you.
People getting the BT behind the scenes chat.
Oh, it's so funny. Lindsay and I have the same story. So we're like, oh, let me tell you something. And the other sister is like,
Yeah. I actually told Jeff something at dinner last night. And he said that my mom said, he goes, yeah, I was in the car too. I heard that he goes, so not only are you repeating your stories, now you're repeating other people's stories. I go, oh, yeah, I guess so. He's like, God, that's so funny.
that's funny.
I struggle with cosmetic bags, and this one, I have not ordered this one yet, but it's on my radar. It's the Everything cosmetic bag. And I found again, it was on TikTok, and it's called
I didn't see this one. And when I was going through the list, I was so intrigued as to the Everything cosmetic bag. Why is this on the list and what's so special about it?
So did you look it up?
No, because I don't want everything to be stale. So I was like, no, I'm just going to wait and ask Lindsay on the podcast.
It's the Fria Everything cosmetic bag. It's large. I love the pockets, the design. It's very chic. It's wipeable, and it folds up super easy. Like, it has two parts of it, and you just boom, fold them at an angle. But guess what? This is even better. When I was doing my research, I found a dupe for this, like literally the exact thing from Shein.
Shein. Oh, I think it's Shein. Shein. See, now I can spell too, Lindsay.
But actually, you don't have to spell, because it's just go to the podcast notes, and it's also in our Shop My store. And this one is $13. $13. The other one was like $29, still a good price, but $13, that's a bargain.
What colors does it come in?
Happy Valentine's Day. I like the white. They have a white one. I'm just a neutral kind of person.
All right. Now I'm going to look in it.
It held so much stuff. I think this would be a great gift for a friend or your mom or somebody for Valentine's Day for sure. The other one is the Topic Hair Fiber Kit. Kind of reminds me of the brow kit, but it's for your hair up top. You can get this kit for $24.95. People said make sure to get it as a kit, because applicator doesn't come with just the hair fiber topic. And they were so upset. They're like, I got my fiber, but I don't have a kit. So what that means is they didn't have a way to apply it. They just got the product, and you need the applicator.
Oh, so are you talking about, like, I remember those old infomercials where the guy would spray black paint on his hair. Is this kind of like that?
It's kind of like that, but this is using fiber technology instead. Just like the Maylove brow.
Yes.
It's fiber technology. And so you can have an applicator. And so fiber technology just looks a lot smoother and more like, real.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't use this every day, but I sure would use this for pictures. And if I had a meeting or an event or something, and you just want to fill in.
Oh, absolutely. I have so many friends that have thinning hair. And and as a woman, especially, like, bald men is just so common. I don't even think twice. But for a woman, it's just not as acceptable. And so I am glad to learn about this, because I have friends that have this issue. And so this is a great resource. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And even you, Lindsay, you have some really thin areas where I know that when we've been on photo shoots, you're like, you've wanted something to cover it, and you and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So I'm going to get this and just fill that spot in.
I love it.
My hair's gotten a lot thicker since I've been pregnant, I knew that would happen. Well, I was hoping it would happen. But the other thing I did not like is I'm getting stretch marks on my thighs. So I am going to get these if you have stretch marks on large areas, there's a company called Dermaclear, and they're really like large body silicone patches. I love CO patches for the face, but they're small. I need some large patches for those thighs. And if you have stretch marks anywhere on your stomach, or let's say your arms, you can get them. They're by Dermaclear. And that's just a natural way to help with your stretch marks. So I'm excited about that.
I just want to tell you a little funny thing. You enjoy your thick hair from your pregnancy, because as soon as the baby comes out, you'll go through a thinning hair period. I did. Especially remember after Penelope, I lost so much hair. It was scary. Like,
when did you get it back?
I think it took a year, but I don't know and I wasn't the only one, because I was in a little mommy support group, because, as a mommy, oh my goodness, I needed women that, had babies, and we all talked about the same thing, and their hair thinned out too. So I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. It will come back, but.
Well, I guess I'll be wearing my Topic hair fiber kit, and then I'll be putting my May Love brow stamp on, and
there you go.
And there you go.
You'll be set.
The last three from me, and then Ashley's going to share hers, are apps to use. And I use these apps all the time. My first one is the Abide app for meditation. It is a biblical app. I absolutely love it. I use this almost every night. It really helps put me to sleep. They have all these cool stories that are fun to listen to. And then you can set it after your meditation to go onto like a sound. So I usually have like rain that instantly comes on after that to keep me asleep. So I really love that. Another one that I use is called Frequency app. It's Hertz 525. I love this. It's $24 for the year. Or when I think I may have bought a special, but that's what I paid, $24 for the year. You can use this sleeping or focus time, cleaning up, anything like that. There's no like music, so it is a frequency app. It works too. So when I really have troubles going to sleep, I'll finish my Abide app and then I'll turn on the frequency app. Another one that I like is called Endel. Endel.
Endel.
Well, I did want, that's not on our Shop My list, so I did want to spell that one. I use that for focus, deep work, when I need to create, read, commute, or even when I do my chores. There's literally a setting that says chores. Huh. So if I have to fold clothes or whatever, it just puts you in this calm state. I listen to, of course, a lot of podcasts and music and stuff, but sometimes I just need to calm down completely and not have any even work stuff on. Like a podcast is still, to me, like you're educating and work. And sometimes I just want to zone out and reset for the day. And that's what I use.
Is it like classical music or what is it?
No, it's kind of like more on the frequency side, but it's not Hertz 525, but it is a type of, I don't know, these scientists created it. So it's just all these sounds put together. It's really neat. So
like bird sounds?
No, I think you're just gonna have to listen to it, Ashley, and download it.
I'm like this. Is it caw-caw, caw-caw, or is it diddly, diddly?
That doesn't sound calm to me. No, it's calming sounds that the scientists have made, and it's not bird calls. I would be turning that off.
I'm intrigued.
The last one is a tapping solution app. And if you have stress, you need to release that anxiety or to help sleep better. I don't know if you've heard this before, but tapping is an excellent way to just kind of train your brain to get to where you need to be. And so they have this app that you can just follow along. And there's literally, well, it's not a person. It's a, whatever that is, not robot, but I don't know what that's called.
It's one of those little video characters, but I will say it's not a lot of hocus pocus.
It's not.
It was several months ago, Lindsay and I, our schedule was tight. We had to record a podcast. There was no do-over time. And something before the podcast happened to me, and it really got me so upset. Like, have you ever been so upset where Lindsay was like, all right, Ashley, let's just power through. And I told Lindsay, I said, I actually can't power through. I said, I'm so angry. I want to cry. I'm so angry. And I said, I don't know what to do because, I don't want to provide that kind of energy on the show. And so Lindsay said, you know what? Let's try something. Let's try this tapping thing. And Lindsay and I did it on the podcast, not live, but before we did it. And y'all, it's like it released it. It released all of that angry tension energy. It was I liked it. So it worked.
Good. Yeah, I remember that day. Yeah. Well, you're up, Ashley. What are your favorites?
Okay, so mine is more of a wellness stuff. And so these are all the things that I have bought within the past couple of months, and it's really made a difference. So the first one I get, y'all, I can't walk into the studio without somebody commenting on this, and it is my water jug. So the reason why I wanted to do this was I looked it up, and I am 5'4", and I'm, obviously I'm a woman. And so I looked up for a 5'4" not normal, I don't want to say normal, for a 5'4" average woman, you are supposed to drink about a half of gallon. And that's kind of like, maybe a little taller than me, a little thinner, a little thicker. It doesn't matter, but just kind of aim for a half a gallon. And I wanted one that wasn't plastic. I just don't want to drink anything out of plastic.
I like how you said half a gallon versus like cups, because that's hard for me to think of all those cups. Half a gallon, I just think a half a gallon of milk, and you can like, easily quantify that.
Yeah, your cup might look different from my cup. Okay.
Right.
And the thing about it is that I saw a lot of people, and you can see them anytime you go around, the plastic containers are like, you can do it, do this. But again, I don't want to be drinking out of a plastic container because that stuff can leach into your water. So the one that I've got, it's stainless steel, and it comes in a pretty mauve or gray color option. And I also like the drink spout. Now it does come with a straw, but you don't have to drink it through the straw. And I like it because you can easily carry it to and from your workout or wherever you're at. So
Which color do you have?
I like the gray.
Okay, you have the gray.
Yeah.
That's cute. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really simple, but it's big. But you know what? It's also inspired. It's a conversation topic, because every time I go somewhere, people are like, oh, whoa, that's a lot of water. And I'm like, yeah, I said, this is my goal. I'm trying to drink. This is the water that I've got to drink for the day. And you can make it, I love cool water, even though I know room temperature water is better for you, but I like cool temperature water. And it's just so funny how much attention I get with the water bottle, but it's fun. It's lighthearted and it's fun. The next thing.
Well, I have a question. Are you meeting your water goals now that you have this?
Yes. And before I was not. Isn't that neat?
It's not that much. It's $24.49. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's a visual for me. I don't know. I'm a very visual person. And before I was like, yeah, I need to drink my water. But for some reason, having it in this jug makes me, I got to finish that today. And I don't guzzle it all at once. I mean, I'll, take,
you're not supposed to guzzle it because you're not absorbing it. It's just running through you. So you are supposed to take sips.
Right.
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. The next one that I absolutely love are these buttery soft leggings. And I also have these linked. And there is a reason why these leggings are so popular. And also, they're so stinking expensive. I know, just before I can even tell you, yes, I know they're expensive. I am not a millionaire. I get it. They are expensive. However, once you wear these leggings one time, you are always going to reach for these leggings. And they are Lululemon. And I have the ones that I like in our shop. They have all different types that you can, different styles, but my absolute favorite are the Align ones, and they have them in high rise and super high rise. And so I put both of those in there. They also have them in crop or long, depending on, for spring and summer, I like a crop. For winter, I like long. However, you may be going through perimenopause or menopause, or you're just hot blooded and you're like, no way, I'm never wearing long. So you can always get the crop. But
you have them in both high rise and super high rise?
Yep.
Do you prefer one or the other?
You know what? I will say it depends on what I'm doing. So yesterday I did a HIIT class. So the high rise is great for that. Today I did this super flow, which is a lot of, ups. We actually worked on handstands today. And so I've got, my stomach's not flat. I've got some rolls on it. So my pants were rolling down a little bit. So I like something that's going to keep it all tucked in. Also, the reason why a lot of the women also wear the super high rise in yoga is because if you're doing hot yoga, a lot of times you want to take your top off and just have like a crop tank on because it's so hot in there.
Uh-huh.
And so it covers your belly.
Yeah.
So you can still look stylish, but still be comfortable, but just also
covered a little bit,
conservative and just feel good about yourself. So anyway, so those are the ones that I have. I love them. It truly is one of those things where it's worth the money. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk to you about was a yoga and Pilates mat. So if you have joint issues with your knees, your wrists, your backs, anything like that, and you need a supportive mat, then this is your mat. I asked the owner of the yoga studio, who's practiced over 30 years, and he also teaches classes. So, and I also asked some other people in the class that practice yoga, and this is the mat. The thickness is incredible. It doesn't slip and slide. And you can also do it, just any kind of, mat class that you want. It's called a Manduka mat. And I also have that one linked. I do want to say, if you're like, yeah, Ashley, I don't do yoga, I don't do Pilates, that's okay. And I'm not an instructor. So that's just the exercise that fits with me right now. But what I do want to do is I do want to encourage you to try a new form of exercise, or just begin by just walking out your front door. For your skin to look glowing, for you to feel good, you need that circulation and you need to be active. It is good for you to do laundry. It is good for you to go upstairs and downstairs. It's good for you to get up and get your own water. It's good for you to take in that fresh air. And I really want you to be healthy. It's going to make you feel better, release those endorphins. So just, I don't know if y'all know this, but since we're coming off Christmas, if y'all saw A Christmas Story, my favorite line.
Christmas, we're in Valentine's. You still back 2 months ago?
Yeah, I said we're just coming off Christmas. That was the last holiday.
We're going into spring.
But Ralphie in A Christmas Story, that mean elf, this is my favorite one. He's just like, just get moving, kid. So that was my hardy har har joke. Oh my gosh, Lindsay's like, yeah, that was just real bad, Ashley. Anyways, that's what Reeves tells me. He's like, Mama, you're in Papa mode. When I tell my
that's our dad, his
grandpa jokes. He's like, Papa mode, Mom. I'm like, yeah,
oh
it's funny. All right. The next one is water and wellness. This is something that you can use before hard workout, or if you are feeling just dehydrated or you're sick. So I use it's called the Quinton C plasma. It's the isotonic and hypertonic. So I'll use 1 ampule in the morning, first thing when I wake up. So my stomach is empty. I'll have one of those ampule. It is salty. So I just want to warn you, and you hold it under your tongue for about 1 minute and then swallow. And just so you know, this is filled with a bunch of trace minerals. So many of you may not know that our soil is deficient in magnesium. Okay. That's just the way it is. So this is a way for you to get all of your minerals back in. And instead of drinking one of those sports drinks, you can also do the active H2 molecular H2 tablets. I also use that. Actually did one this morning because I had decaf coffee last night. So I woke up dehydrated. So I plopped one of those into normal temperature water. And you need to drink it as soon as it dissolves. You need to drink it. Don't let it just sit around. You need to drink it immediately.
I did want to interject and say, for the isotonic and hypertonic, the company recommends that you start off with isotonic first, build your body up, so maybe a couple months, and then you can move on to hypertonic because it's a little stronger. Just FYI.
Awesome. And I will say I've done both, and you can tell that the other one is stronger. Yeah. It's like you can really tell. And if it's too strong, who cares? Go back to the first one.
I'm still on isotonic. Yeah.
Yeah. And the isotonic's great. I feel like, hey, you're still getting minerals and trace. You don't need to amp it up if you don't need to. All right. So my favorite moisture right now is by Sand and
Moisturizer. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite moisturizer. It's by a company called Sand and Sky. And it's, I like the name. It's Tasmanian Spring Water Hydration Boost Cream. Okay. The consistency is so fluffy and light. It is fun to put on this moisturizer, yet it's really hydrating to my skin. So
I like it.
I don't know if you've ever had a product that just makes you smile, but this is making me smile every time I put my fingers in the jar and apply it to my face. And I have to thank Mavis for introducing me to it. And I also just want to say, don't you love that name, Mavis? I love those classic names. And if your name is Mavis, don't you just automatically think that that person is going to be sweet? I do.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's a good moisturizer. I do like that as well. Who doesn't want Tasmanian spring water in the name? I was like, Tasmanian spring water. I'm grabbing for that.
I know. And the bottle is this pretty,
like blue, and yeah, it's really pretty.
Blue colors. It's like a bunch of different blue colors. The packaging is really pretty. So as I said before, if you enjoyed our show, please consider giving us that 5-star rating and a review. If you have time, we would really love it.
Yeah, thanks so much. We really appreciate that. Also, we love to have you in our community at lindsayholder.com, and you can connect with us, and you can even message us and get in touch with us. And there's other community members there, so that will be fun to learn about you and connect. And as soon as you get in there, we will ask you how you heard about us. And so you'll let us know this podcast, of course. And then we actually ask you how can we help you? Like what skincare thing that you would like to know about. And we put that on our list. Or if we already have it available, we will message you and say, oh, you can find it here. We love those messages because we are here for you. And that helps us know what we need to talk about next. Most of our podcast episodes are because the listeners have messaged us and we create a podcast episode just based on that. Didn't know if you knew that or not. So what a great list. Ashley, I love your suggestions. It makes me want to go out and get that water jug and start drinking my water and then drop my molecular hydrogen in there and just start a good day and then go work out in my new leggings. So makes me want to do all of that. Boy, this was such a
and in your new shoes.
And your new shoes. And then after that, do your Theragun dupe and then stamp your brows and then go to the bathroom and use a bidet. There we go.
So basically we're saying if you're bored and you don't know what to do, we got some stuff for you to do.
We got some stuff for you to do. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Love yourself today. No matter if you are with somebody or you're single, this is not about that. This is about loving yourself, having a wonderful self-care day, and just being grateful and appreciative that we are here today celebrating Valentine's Day. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. We will see you next week. And until next time.